sucker for love. And in this world full of suckers, you fit mine like a glove. The fit is perfect, but nobody above, yeah. The clock's ticking as the time flies by. We in two different worlds, but living the same life. Two different dreams, you make me feel so alive. Need you by my side, need you by my side. Just a power couple daily blowing off steam. Making love to you so damn seamlessly. We be doing it so damn frequently. Easy cause we on the same damn frequency. Take it to the Sunset Boulevard. Tell mama says she wanna tag along. She don't care if it's right or if it's wrong. Yeah, we'd always get along. Even through the downs, gotta stay strong. Now we singing the same song. All I ever get is think about you. I think about you daily. So baby girl, don't play me. All I ever get is think about you.
They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What is going on, Lakers family? It is your boy DTLF back on another pregame live stream. We got Lakers versus Kings. We're gonna talk a lot about that. We got Rich Paul strikes again, so we got to talk about that, as well as even a little bit of trade rumors. Don't really want to touch too much on that. Take everything with a grain of salt. But we're gonna break it all down. How's everybody doing, man? Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful weekend, as I did. It is good to see each and every single one of you guys. What's up, Kimmy Goat? Hey, what up, Diehard? Good to see you, my friend Ash Allen. And I am going to do a Prize Picks entry. Matter of fact, I already submitted it. If you follow me, Alan, on Prize Picks, you could see what it is. For the rest of you guys, I will show it at the end of this stream. Make sure you guys tell we've been winning some money. So definitely tap in with that promo code DTLF with your first deposit of $5 in play, and you'll get 50 in play credit with Prize Picks and 75 with Underdog. So tap in, promo code DTLF. All right, Lakers, man. Lakers versus Kings. We have beat them twice already this season. It should be a fun one. Rui, he's off the injury report, and he will return tonight after missing 6 whopping games. Story of my life. We've been injured all season long. So what's good, Solo? What's good, brother? How you doing? Good to see you guys. Yes, shout out to my Rams who got this dub this weekend. Man, I was nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was on the edge of my seat for that game. It was a little too close for comfort. Shout out to the GOAT, the MVP, Matthew Stafford. And how about Puka punching away an interception to keep that drive alive? Man, so many clutch plays. This entire weekend is full of phenomenal upsets, and I'm just very, very excited for what's to come next weekend. Hopefully we can, advance past the Chicago Bears. But again, back to the Lakers, guys. We got a lot to talk about. And hey, let me see here. Looks like we got a super chat.
Oh my God! Wow!
Thank you so much, Streg. Appreciate you. How you doing today, my friend? Hopefully all is well. Always good to see you, my friend. Always good to see each and every single one of you guys. Appreciate the love. All right. So like I said, we face the Sacramento Kings tonight. They're banged up. They're missing a couple bodies tonight. But even though they're depleted, we all know every game is a must-win for the Lakers. We lost 2 in a row after winning 3 in a row. Now we lose 2 in a row, and we've been streaking win and losses. We've been streaking it in the West. Got to win as many as possible. But we already beat the Kings twice, and tonight we have to dominate the paint. Looks like Sabonis is going to be out. That's the good news for us, right? Not for them. You hate to see injuries, but left knee partial meniscus tear for them, so that sucks for them. But that's their anchor right there. He averages about 20 and 13. So we got to feast in that paint without him being there for surely. Now, a lot of people have been asking about these trade rumors and stuff. You know what? We got another one here with Izzy. She says, Dan, how you feel about the Kuminga rumors? I hate it. We don't need him. Well, I'm glad you brought it up in that fashion because you know what? So many people have reached out to me via DM or tweet and have asked me about that. And I know Jake L. Fisher is credible because, he's under Mark Stein, who's the more credible source. But I'm sorry. I just don't believe a lot of the people that work for Bleacher Report. I feel like they want the clickbait. Now, we know the Lakers have been inquiring, and the Lakers have inquired about Kuminga, but it's different to inquire and to actually be really heavily interested in somebody. they say they want a 3-and-D wing. That's what confuses me. Kuminga's neither. He's not a great three-point shooter. I think career-wise, he only average. I think he scores around the 30 percentile, which is really bad in the modern NBA to shoot 30% from beyond the arc for your career. I think this year he's shooting 32%. So Kuminga does not fit what the Lakers want. He's not a great defender either. He's a below-average defender. He's always he averages on his career on -2 on the plus-minus. He's not a great defender, not a great three-point shooter. So when they say 3-and-D, how about neither with Kuminga? Now, Kuminga, what he is, he's a great slasher and athlete. So he would fit in a sense of youth and adds to our athletic ability. He's a great scorer in the paint, and once in a while he'll knock down a three. But he's not the 3-and-D that they are supposedly searching. That's why I take these rumors with a grain of salt, and I don't put too much stock into them. I see everybody retweeting it and stuff. But until Shams reports it or Mark Stein directly or my own personal credible source behind the scenes tells me something about it, I didn't make a video or any content. Again, I don't like to clickbait you guys at all. But thank you so much for the question. I'm glad we could clarify that. And as you can see, I didn't even put that on the thumbnail because I don't think that rumor has any legs to it, if I'm being honest, right? I can see Kuminga going elsewhere for a bigger package player, maybe like an Anthony Davis to the Mavericks or something along that sense, because I don't think they'll throw him away as easily. So, but I do think this trade deadline is really interesting. Again, if you're not aware, trade deadline is February 5th. So February 5th, by then we'll know who gets traded where and what doesn't happen. But this has potential to be intriguing. Apparently, the Grizzlies are shopping Ja Morant. There's plenty of franchises shopping their star players after everybody saw that they traded Trae Young for pennies to the dollar. So, and today we heard a rumor that maybe even after Ja Morant, they might be interested in trading Jaren Jackson Jr. So again, there's going to be some opportunities there. Apparently, the Lakers don't want to bring in multi-year deals, right? They want a 1-year deal maximum, expiring contracts. They're trying to clear up cap space. They must have a plan for the offseason. So let's see what materializes this trade deadline, to be honest. But back to tonight's game, guys, we got to lock down the perimeter, man. We got to force turnovers. We know Russ is coming. He wants to play us. He's always vengeance. He's got vengeance on his mind. They got Russ. They got Zach. They got DeMar DeRozan. So they got some pretty good perimeter players. Precious Achiuwa in the paint and Maxime Reynaud at center. So again, this is a team in the Sacramento Kings that absolutely stinks. Okay. They absolutely freaking stink. They're 9-30. Lakers at 23-13, 10 games over 500. We cannot afford to lose a game like this. And we got a back-to-back as we play again tomorrow. So thank you, schedule makers, for trying to ruin everything for the Lakers, man. We have not been good at winning back-to-backs. We either win the first or the back-end one. But we've rarely won both. I think we've only won one back-to-back this season. So it's going to be tough, but it starts tonight with this here victory. Hopefully they can get things right. Our starting lineup. Now, you see who's on my thumbnail, man. Rui Hachimura. Now, the good news is he's back. Even better news, they're bringing him off the bench. He's on minute restriction, so I think that's the only reason why. I think eventually, knowing JJ Redick, he'll put him back in the starting lineup, which I hope he doesn't. But I actually like Jake LaRavia starting. I think we've been better with him starting there, more of a glue guy. But tonight we got Luka, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, LeBron, and Jake LaRavia. That's your starting lineup. Going up against Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, Maxime Reynaud, Precious Achiuwa, and DeMar DeRozan. Did I call him Chewy? Like Chewbacca? But yeah, again, guys, one of these games that is going to be really tough because the Lakers sometimes play down to the competition. Now, it'll be nice if we can get a blowout and we can rest LeBron and Luka and get them ready to play tomorrow because LeBron has not played a back-to-back all season long. So if we can blow them out by halftime, then maybe we can keep these guys fresh for tomorrow. Maybe they might give it a go. Otherwise, I expect either LeBron or both LeBron and Luka to sit out tomorrow. So I'm really hoping for a first-half blowout here. I think that'll be key to winning even tomorrow's game, right? But again, with Rui coming back, our rotation – it should expand, although I think it'll get shorter, but it should expand for sure. And again, we have to be efficient. I need my two superstars, Luka and LeBron, to be efficient. LeBron has been tremendously efficient for like a month or more. Luka has not. So Luka got to step it up. And you got to limit those turnovers because when Luka turns the ball over, it makes it worse, okay? So we need to orchestrate without forcing it tonight, and LA's half-court execution needs to be better because let's be honest, it's been very spotty, guys. But we get Rui back from injury, and I don't know what that does to Dalton Connect, but again, let's not settle tonight. Let's not settle. Let's take it to the hole. They're thin in the front line. They got injuries, and let's see how it turns out. Let's see how everything happens, right? Moving forward. Let's see. My guy TW Money says he does not want Jonathan Kuminga. I wouldn't mind Kuminga, but depends on what you give up for him. I don't want him as a premier player that we have to give up a lot for, simply because let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. Jonathan Kuminga, as good as he's been or whatever, he has underwhelmed for a top 7 pick, right? For sure, he's underwhelmed. So, as good as everything is, we have to continue to get pieces that fit who we have. Now, his athleticism would be welcome, but how's his defensive potential? How's that going to be, right? Let's see. My guy said, this is Aiden game if I've ever seen one. For sure. He's going to have wide open middle, wide open, ready to go. Yeah, there's no excuse for DeAndre Ayton. He has been bad lately. That's just the truth. I haven't given up on him yet, but he's been pretty bad. So we need his motor to wake up. Whatever it is that's bothering him, hopefully he can get over that. And it all started happening around the time that he made those comments about, he can't pass the ball to himself. Now, talking about comments, man, Rich Paul strikes again, bro. I think if you're a Lakers fan, I think you see the clear agenda that Rich Paul is trying to divide and conquer, okay? Because he's not for the Lakers anymore. He was never talking like this when everything was going their way and we were trading for AD and getting whoever he wanted, any of his clients, KCP, anybody who was a clutch agent. As soon as we pivoted away from that, Rich Paul now says if he ran the Lakers, he will call Memphis Grizzlies to trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. for a package with Austin Reeves. Okay, now, that's not something you go and you say in public, man. He needs to be banned from podcasts and microphones forever. This guy is really, really trying to ruin any sort of chemistry we might have had this season. Because if you're Austin Reeves, you're looking at LeBron like, bruh, this your guy? This your guy you podcast with and do the barbershop shows with and all that shit? You better check him. Talking about trade me and shit on a contract here. I would not be happy if I was Austin Reeves. So again, just pay close attention to the body language and the chemistry to see how that transpires between him and LeBron. I hate the fact that Rich Paul's coming out here. Okay, we get it. We didn't give your client a contract extension, so now you want to raise hell. But it's just not fair, man. You got to keep your mouth shut, bro. You're an agent. You're not a podcaster. Leave that to me. Leave the talking to me. Okay, but this is what he had to say. He said, if I was the Lakers, I would be targeting Memphis Grizzlies as a trade partner for Jaren Jackson. He said, if you're building around Luka, you need that anchor. Jaren doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. If you're able to trade out expirings and trade at least first, the last first you got, and you can withhold and give up less. But this comes with more unemotional attachment because Austin is beloved. He says, there's a world you can do what's best for your team and what's best for Austin. Austin deserves to get paid. Memphis will definitely pay Austin. He will become their leading scorer and point guard. Here's the problem I have with this tape. Austin wants to be a Laker, and we want him to be a Laker. And sure, we would trade him for a bigger piece. Problem I have with Jaren Jackson Jr. is he's very streaky. He's constantly getting in foul trouble. Constantly. Okay? Constantly getting in foul trouble. And what does he average? Like 15 points? He's not a great rebounder either, so he doesn't solve that. Right? Good shot blocker. I'll give him that. Good shot blocker. And floor spacing big. I like that. I wouldn't mind having Jaren Jackson, but not at the cost of getting Austin Reeves, and I'll tell you why. For one, because Austin Reeves is a primary ball handler, and his chemistry with Luka, they had already formed the best backcourt in the NBA on paper. They had formed that already. They were both putting up major star numbers. Some might even argue superstar numbers, more than 25 points per game. And on top of that, he wants us to include a first-round pick. In what universe? Thank God he doesn't own any team or partakes in any of the decision-making because, man, if on top of giving the best player in the trade, we have to give up a first-round pick, you're smoking something, man. So, again, Rich Paul showing why he should stick to being an agent and leave the basketball and the front office exec stuff to those guys, okay? Because, seriously, that is ridiculous, fam. Some of the stuff he'd be saying on that podcast, and I don't even watch the entire episode yet. I've just seen clips that people send me. It is insane. Okay. And again, I like Jaren Jackson. If there was a way to get him without giving up Luka or Austin, I do it. If we can give up Rui, first round pick, anything else, I do it because he would fit perfectly along those guys. But to have to, I've always said this about trading Austin. If I'm going to trade Austin, it has to be for a bigger piece. You have to upgrade, not downgrade. Okay. It has to be for a piece Like, if I'm going to give up Austin, let's package Austin, Rui, Dalton, any first round picks or anything for somebody like Giannis. You know what I mean? So again, I don't like what this guy's doing, man. He is annoying. All right. Yeah, he's burning bridges and he's acting like an emotional person. You know, he's coming out here just being emotional. And listen, it's gonna ruin the chemistry. And at this point, I can't wait for that divorce to happen. That way we could just move on from Rich Paul, not even from LeBron, from Rich Paul. And I think Rich Paul is the type of spiteful person that will talk bad about us for the rest of his career now, because the relationship is not ending the way that they saw it was going to end. So that's the unfortunate thing, guys. I got no problem with LeBron. I got every problem with Rich Paul. That's what the real problem is. And I will go as far as to say, if LeBron doesn't check him, then he's part of the problem as well. He needs to check him. That's his boy. I mean, LeBron, you put him on. Only reason he got a job because you gave it to him. And then he after that, he capitalized on his own opportunities. But he should never be doing you dirty like this, LeBron, unless you're in on it and you guys are on the same page and he's trying to stir the pot, see if anything happens. So what I'm hearing about the Lakers is they don't want to take on multi-year deals or salaries that are going to hamper their future with Luka, with Austin. Right? That's what I'm hearing. So maybe this is why they're kicking and screaming on the way out, because Rich Paul knows they're not going to make a big splash like Rich Paul is accustomed to anytime LeBron is centered around a team. So again, just keep a close eye on this trade deadline. But even more than a trade deadline, I think the offseason is going to be where the real big splashes happen. But we might still get a sneak trade here, sneak trade there. You heard the Kuminga rumors. We've been hearing the Andrew Wiggins rumors. We're going to keep hearing rumors. But again, I will go live when I feel like a rumor is legitimate and it has some real basis and some grounds to it. Like, oh, they're in conversations. If we ever hear Shams or Mark Stein or somebody with credibility report that the Lakers are in conversations with X team, that is when it's close to happening. That's when I go live. I hate to lead you guys into any sort of excitement or disappointment if nothing's going to happen. And we've seen year after year, there's a lot of rumors that lack a lot of, grounds for sure. All right. How would you feel if instead of going after a guaranteed fifth starter like Herb Jones, we go after Nick Claxton, Rui, Gabe, 31st. We'll get it done. Maybe still go after Keon with Dalton connecting a second. Even Najee Marshall can slot in nicely. You know what? I like those type of trades. I think those are exactly the type of trades the Lakers need to be pursuing that doesn't tie them up for multi-years. Now, I haven't looked at Nick Claxton's contract, but he would fit nicely. A rim lob threat like that who can actually defend and is better than Jackson Hayes, I think that would be nice for sure. I think that would be really nice, and it would be interesting to see if that did happen, right? Austin is an all-star. Triple J is not. That's what I'm saying, Tony. This is why it doesn't make sense what Rich Paul is saying. It just doesn't make sense for us to trade down. And for years, people that hate Austin, I don't know why, have always tried to trade down. Like they try to say Austin and DeJounte were both equally as good when Austin clearly has always been better. And I said at worst, at best, that's a lateral trade at best. But at worst, can you imagine if we would have did that trade, if all the Twitter GMs would have got together and pushed that, if they had the ability to push that trade through, can you imagine the disaster that giving a big contract to somebody like DeJounte Murray, who's always hurt, versus an Austin Reeves would be a big difference, man, right? But again, LeBron James in tonight, Luka Doncic in tonight, Rui in tonight as well. Very excited for this game, guys. It's been a couple of days. We basically had all weekend off, even though we were watching football. Stress-free basketball if you guys were watching. And the Lakers just looking to bounce back here, and hopefully they're able to do so swiftly, right? Hopefully they're able to do so really swiftly. Talking about Keon Ellis, ESPN proposed LA trades Dalton Connect plus a second-round pick for Ellis, who's a very pesky defender, averages about 1.2 steals per game, and he would shore up the perimeter. I wouldn't mind a trade like that. That'd be actually kind of perfect. One of those trades that doesn't hamper you at all. And, and the Kings might actually be interested in making a trade like this since, he's a free agent soon, so they can get something out of it. He would fit our cap without long-term commitment, which would fit us. I can see a trade like that happening for sure. Other targets that sources have confirmed the Lakers are interested in: Herb Jones, Robert Williams III has been linked to the Lakers, besides Keon Ellis, Derrick Jones Jr., Terrence Mann, players like that. Players like Jeremy Grant, Nick Claxton have been linked to the Lakers before. Again, sometimes the trade that happens is the one that nobody saw coming. I wouldn't mind if the Lakers traded for somebody like Daniel Gafford, right? But most likely they won't, post a Lucas swap. They're probably not going to trade with us, if I'm being honest, right? But there's a lot of other things the Lakers can do, and hopefully, teams come correct and deal with us in good faith. That's all I ask, in good faith, because other teams, like I said, they get pennies to the dollar when they're up for trade, right? We've seen Trae Young, what he went for, Yo, what up, Jose? He said, yo, ready for some prize picks. I got you, my friend. No worries. Wait, no more. This is, and you feel free to alter your guys' entry or tail mine. It's up to you. But this is my entry here, and I already submitted it. So I got LaMelo Ball. I'm going to go with one of the Demons, which is 3.5 threes. He's going up against the Clippers, which is a team he most likely either he's performing for because, he's likely to get traded, or it's just the Clippers. They're easy, man. They're usually an easy target. I can see him hitting 4 threes tonight, all right? Charlotte versus the Clippers tips off in about 34 minutes. I got LeBron on rebounds again. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit tonight. I think LeBron could easily get 7 rebounds. I'm going to pick him up right here. You see this? This means it's not likely to happen, but if it does happen, you get paid more. I'm going to go Russell Westbrook. He always tries to play the Lakers hard. He's a try-hard versus the Lakers. I'm going Rui, points, rebounds, and assists, because even though he's on minute restrictions, I'm sure he don't like coming off the bench. He's going to give it his all. Playing tonight, coming off the bench, he's probably going to play anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. He could easily get 11 points or rebounds or assists combined, all of it. Victor going up against OKC. We know he hates OKC. Points, rebounds, assists, 34. He can get that as well. And then Luka's just been on a tear, averaging, over 33 points per game. So I'm going to go the 35th point tonight. If that happens, everybody's a winner. Make sure you guys tail promo code DTLF if you guys are first-time users. And you will get $50 on prize picks with your first 5 deposit and play if you use my promo code. Thank you so much, Kimiko, for sharing the code for sure. And then, and then, like I said, for underdog, same promo code. DTLF, same deal. 5 gets you 75 over there. So tap in there. All right. Sharon says, I think we have been filling out our starters with bench players and our bench with G League. We need to get real competent bench players. We have 4 starters. Sharon, the problem is we have failed in free agency the last couple of years, okay? We got Gabe. I thought he was going to be good. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I thought he was going to be good because of the way he played in Miami. He was a big 3 player on their way to the finals when they faced us. Gabe Vincent was one of the big reasons why. And, he has not even a shell of himself here with the Lakers. Again, not made for the limelights. And then, let's see what else. As far as that goes, I don't like the short rotation. I think we should expand those. But JJ loves his 9-man rotation for sure. And yes, it would be nice to trade for actual bench, Sharon. That would be really nice. Maybe whether it's one more player added to the pieces. I do like some players off the bench. Like if Rui actually comes off the bench, he'd be great there. I like Vando off the bench. I think Jackson provides a good spark. Just the guards have been dog shit off the bench. So we need better guards off the bench. And again, when Austin comes back, most likely Marcus goes off the bench. So now he provides that spark and we'll look a little bit more deep. But again, it's up to JJ Redick to just use everything he's got for sure. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens there. You know what? Izzy, great question. Go Rams. I got the Rams in the Super Bowl. I think we'll beat the Chicago Bears and then we'll beat, I think it's going to be the Seahawks that advance next against the 49ers. I think the Rams will be in the Super Bowl. On the other side, I'm not sure who. On the other side, it's a coin flip. Who do you got? On the other side, I'm really not sure who, but I think it'll be Rams on our side of the bracket for sure. You said I wouldn't go with Rui fresh off of an injury? See, this is why I'm going with him. The number expectation is really low, so it's a really low threshold for him to go over. And they kind of held him out for several weeks, and they ramped him up, so he should be good to go. They're not going to play him if he's feeling injured still, right? So it's a low mark for him to hit. Even then, he might disappoint me, but I feel you. But I'm still going to pick him up just because it's a low mark, and I like to play the percentages and the odds. Tonight's keys to tonight's matchup, man. Kings. Stop Russell Westbrook. Please do not let this guy get a triple-double and cook us. All right, that's number one, because he'll keep him in the game. But he's a double-edged sword. We know that. He'll play good, and then he'll play bad in the end and turn it over in a crucial situation when they're getting close, and then they'll lose. So that's the only good news about Russ. But Just contain him. Don't let him get off tonight, like we know he's going to try to. My second key is going to be kill them in the paint. They don't have a lot of rim protection tonight. They have a lot of inexperience. LeBron, Luka, all these guys got to attack Ayton. Everybody, go to the paint. High efficiency basketball. Let's get it, And then let's see. My final key will probably be Luka, man. Luka, you've been terrible. You've been sloppy the last couple games. We need a good Luka game here tonight, all right? Because LeBron has been carrying. We don't need a 41-year-old to keep carrying, man. You gotta do what Anthony Davis couldn't. Take the pail off of LeBron's back and carry the load, at least until we get into the playoffs. We know in the playoffs, LeBron's about to show out. That's what he does. He's one of the GOATs for a reason. So we need Luka to step up in the regular season. Last thing I want is to see LeBron get hurt before the postseason, right? So that's simply going to be my third and final key. Luka, come on, bro. What are you doing, bro? Let's see. She said, since my Ravens are out, I'm rooting for the Bears, my hometown team. Hey, yeah, the Ravens. Yeah, unfortunately, but that should be a good one. Bears versus the Rams. My hometown team versus your hometown team should be a lot of fun. Tasia, I would say best of luck, but not next week. Any week except this weekend. But it should be fun. I look forward to it, and it should be a good game. Go Rams. Go Rams. All right, guys. Again, that is going to wrap it up for me. If you guys are into the watch parties, make sure you guys tap in with Primetime TV. We'll be there. We can talk more football there. And we'll be having a good time there. And then for post-game, I hope to see you guys here right after the game, all right? So enjoy the game. Go Lakers, baby. Major shout out to both of my sponsorships, Prize Picks and Underdog. And thank you so much, Kimiko, for posting all the links. You guys are the best. I will see you after the game, all right? Enjoy the game. Let's get it.